All right, I am here in Concord, New Hampshire at a local park, and just check out this view real quick. This is an absolutely adorable park. We've got a little ice skating rink. It's summertime, so it's not open. We've got basketball courts that my son's excited about, awesome playgrounds, splash pad, this little pond. Absolutely gorgeous. This will be more on the family channel, but you're not here for that. You're here to learn how Medicare works in New Hampshire. Now, New Hampshire, you are very unique in the fact that you are not unique up here in the northeast corner of the United States. And I'll explain what I mean by that, but first we're going to cover kind of the supplement plan side of the equation here, and then we'll go over to the Advantage plan after that. So with supplement plans, you are an issue age state here in New Hampshire. Now what that means is, remember, there are 3 different ways that supplement plans can be issued, and the first that we'll talk about is called attained age. This is based on the age that you have attained. So they all have an annual rate increase that is based on rising healthcare costs and inflation, and this is issued by the insurance companies themselves. These will fluctuate based on the company that you pick. So with attained age plans, you have that increase, but you also have an increase based on attaining a new age. We sarcastically refer to this as the happy birthday increase. So with attained age plans, you have 2 potential increases every year. You don't have those here in New Hampshire. The second is called community rated. This is not based on your age. So a 65-year-old is paying the same amount as a 105-year-old. And up here in the northeast corner of the country, community rated plans are a lot more common. So we've had several states that I've talked about previously that have community rated plans, but New Hampshire, you're kind of unique. You don't have community rated plans, you have issue age plans. Now, issue age plans are based on the date that you are issued your supplement plan. So for example, if my wife goes on her supplement plan at age 65, and I go on my supplement plan at age 67, she will have a 65-year-old rate, I will have a 67-year-old rate. Now, these plans still have those annual increases to account for rising healthcare costs and inflation, but we aren't going to get increases because we attain a new age on our birthday. So there's just the 1 increase with issue age plans as opposed to the 2 increases with attained age plans. Now, this is general. There are exceptions to this, but generally attained age plans start lower and then they have those 2 increases. Issue age plans are kind of in the middle. They usually start a little bit higher than attained age plans, and then community rated plans typically are the highest. But again, with the increases, eventually the issue age and the attained age plans will outpace community rated once you're getting into your 85, 90-year-old range. So New Hampshire, you're kind of your own little pocket here of issue age plans surrounded by a bunch of community rated plans. Now, when we talk about average cost, if a 65-year-old were looking to go on a supplement plan G, nationally the average would be $150. Here in New Hampshire, the average is $180. Likewise, if you're looking for a plan N, nationally the average is $120. Here in New Hampshire, the average is $145. So you are above the national average in terms of the average cost. These are averages, so you will find plans that are higher and plans that are lower. But in the Northeast area, those rates are really low. Again, because you're surrounded by community rated states where those are starting a lot higher, like in the 200s, and some states are $300 range. With those costs, there are opportunities to find discounts on supplement plans. So for example, I'm going to list off a few here. One is called a household discount. The best way to explain it is with an example. Let's say me and my wife are both on a supplement plan with the same insurance company. That insurance company is going to say, hey, that household, you have 2 people on our plans, we're going to give you a discount for that. Another discount is called a wearable discount. This is if you're willing to wear a smartwatch like a Fitbit or a Garmin or an iWatch and then sync that with the insurance company, and that way they can see that you're exercising and you're active. There are companies that are willing to give you discounts for that. And then the last discount I'll talk about here is called an annual discount. If you're willing to pay your premiums all up front for the year rather than month to month, that's a discount that some insurance companies are willing to offer you. And there are companies that will stack those, so you can get multiple discounts here. This is, again, I'm always talking about use an agent to help you with these plans in your area. Make sure they're licensed and familiar with the plans in your area, and then they can find you these discounts, find you plans that will suit your needs from a cost and coverage perspective, as well as the insurance companies that are more reputable. I'm not even saying that you should use us. I'm just saying use an independent agent who's licensed in your area who will do what's right for you. It will not cost you anything, period, ever. If you do want to use us, I do have partners who are licensed and familiar with supplement and advantage plans here in New Hampshire, but let's keep moving on. The other exception here in New Hampshire, again, you're surrounded by states that have what are called GI rules, or guaranteed issue rules, related to supplement plans. This is referring to your ability to get on a supplement plan without going through medical underwriting. You don't have that here in New Hampshire, so if you are wanting to switch from one supplement plan to another, you're going to have to go through underwriting. What that means is you're going to answer medical questions. If you have good health, you can make that switch. If you have poor health, you can either be charged more or you can be denied on that plan switch. So that's something that's important to understand here in New Hampshire. Well, why would somebody want to switch supplement plans? Well, as I referred earlier, there are insurance companies that experience more aggressive increases than others. So if you're on one of those insurance companies and you want to switch over to another insurance company that is a little bit more stable and doesn't have those rate increases, well, you'd have to go through medical underwriting. And this is if you're on a supplement plan G and you want to switch to another supplement plan G, or even if you wanted to switch down to a plan N, you're still going through medical underwriting. Right now, I'm just talking about supplement plan to supplement plan. Things get a little bit different when we're talking about switching from an Advantage plan to a supplement plan. I'll get to that in the Advantage plan section. But first, when we talk about supplement plan penetration rates throughout the country, the average is 21%. 21% of Americans are choosing a supplement plan. This is including all of the letters, so a supplement plan of some form, and then the rest of Americans are choosing something else, so an Advantage plan, FEHB, TRICARE, for life, or other plans. So that 21% is the average for the country. Here in New Hampshire, it's 30%, so you're quite a bit higher than the national average here of people who are choosing supplement plans. Again, compared to your surrounding states, very low-cost supplement plans. All right, let's move over to the Advantage plan side of the conversation. We've got a few things to cover here. First, we're going to talk about the maximum out of pocket, your maximum risk in a given year if everything were to go wrong. Nationally, the average is $5,000 on Advantage plans. Here in New Hampshire, the average is $6,300 for the maximum out of pocket. Again, these are averages. You will find some that are higher, you will find some are lower, but your average is higher than the national average on these Advantage plans. Nationally, the Advantage plan penetration rate is 50%. Here in New Hampshire, it's 33%. So you're significantly lower than the national average when it comes to the market penetration of Advantage plans. This means that more people are choosing something else. This isn't me saying that you should or shouldn't do a supplement plan or an Advantage plan. These are just the numbers that we're seeing here in New Hampshire. Now, I talked about switching from an Advantage plan to a supplement plan. So there are 4 things to talk about here. 2 of them are called trial rights. So a trial right refers to your ability to try out an Advantage plan and then switch back to original Medicare and a supplement plan without medical underwriting. The first trial right is if you go on Medicare at your 65th birthday. This one only applies at your 65th birthday. So you go on at 65 and you take an Advantage plan. If that's the case, you have a 12-month window where you can try out that Advantage plan, and if you don't like it, you can switch back to original Medicare and a supplement plan with no medical underwriting. The second trial right is not related to your birthday. If you take Medicare at any age, so let's say I go on Medicare for the first time at 70 and the first thing that I pick is a supplement plan, then if at any time in the future I want to switch off of that supplement plan and try an Advantage plan, I can do so, and I have a 12-month window to try that Advantage plan and switch back to original Medicare and the supplement plan if I so choose, again with no medical underwriting. So those are your 2 trial rights related to Advantage plans. One's around your 65th birthday, one is at any age going with a supplement plan first, and you can only do that switch once. You can't keep flip-flopping back and forth between supplement and Advantage plan under the trial right. Now, the third condition here would be a special election period. The most common is if somebody is moving outside of their plan's coverage area. So if you move, then you have an ability to switch back onto original Medicare and a supplement plan with no medical underwriting. There are several different special election periods that you can go through. You can reach out or you can find them online. I'll put a link in the description of what those special election periods are. But those are the 3 ways that you're looking at getting onto a supplement plan from an Advantage plan without going through the underwriting and without the risk of being denied. Now, the last one is you can always go and apply to get on a supplement plan and then go through medical underwriting. So again, have your medical questions, and then based on your health, you will either be approved, charged more, or denied. All right, New Hampshire, I think that pretty much covers it. I've had a lot of states here in a row that have been kind of unique and kind of weird, so it's nice to get back to a little bit more of the normal here. Plus, you have some unique things that make it nice based on the area of the country that you live for you and costs. I like to leave secret messages in my video just so I can take comments a little bit more seriously. If you put the secret message in the comments, then I'll know that you've made it through the whole video, and then again, I can treat those comments a little bit differently. When I think of Concord, New Hampshire, I think of Concord grapes, and then I think of grape jelly, which is my favorite jelly to have on toast or on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So the code word is any form of jelly. What is your favorite jelly to put on toast, peanut butter? Is it grape? Is it blueberry? Is it strawberry? Maybe raspberry? Let me know in the comments, and then I'll know you've made it this far. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It means more than you know. And then again, if you need help, don't hesitate to reach out. My email's in the description. You can reach out at theretirementnerds.com. Thank you for making it this far. I'm off to explore this beautiful park and this beautiful state a little bit more with the family. I will see you in the next video.